I want everyone to know this name. Starr Andrews. What she did recently was, in one word, historic.
Starr Andrews from the United States of America.
Her rise to get to where she is today was a journey. It did not happen overnight, considering
it's very hard to get into the sport. There's a lot of discrimination. When I was younger, people would comment on my videos some pretty mean things, and I would be like, I don't think that was necessary to comment, but you just have to look past it and go for your goal.
Skating to Whip My Hair, please welcome Starr Andrews.
She rose to fame 11 years ago when this video of young Starr went viral, garnering 57 million views. The comments to this day are turned off. Good Morning America would report 2 years ago of Andrews' song choice, Black Like Me, with the skater sharing.
It's just a beautiful song. She sings about how it's hard to be African American, especially in America, because of all the hardship we've gone through. And it's hard also being an African American skater because there's not many of us. And to be the only African American female skater representing the USA right now, it has its hard times.
She would tell the New York Times of one of her earliest memories in skating, the stares she received when entering the locker room. The first thing that popped into my mind is, it's because I'm black. And I wouldn't want that to be the first thing that popped into my head, but I couldn't help but think it. Andrews follows in the footsteps of Debbie Thomas, who in 1986 was the first black skater to win a singles world championship, and at the 1988 Olympics won bronze, the first black athlete to do so. But it's not just Thomas. Ty Babylonia partnered with Randy Gardner and won U.S. championships from 76 to 80, and in 79 went on to win the world championships. Prior to Andrews' rise to stardom, only one other skater of African descent, Robert Sulkowy of Germany, had medaled.
Unfortunately, there is an ingratiated gatekeeping of whiteness within the sport, and this goes back centuries.
The skating that turned into figure skating over a couple of centuries really does have roots among elite white European men, explains professor and author Mary Louise Adams to Vox. Skating clubs typically excluded women, Jewish people, people of color, and low-income people. The aesthetics of the sport itself developed in line with that, Adams says. The historical traditions that have racialized figure skating as a white sport for people with privilege continues to influence figure skating culture today, wrote Nicolette Didone.
Mabel Fairbanks was the grande dame of African American skaters. Mabel was a woman who, in the 30s, skated in New York. And being an African American woman, she had a lot of obstacles to go through. She's told me stories of what it felt like to be able to, take your little money, and after watching the skaters, taking your money, placing it there at the counter and saying, I'd like admission to skate. And they would look at her and say, I'm sorry, little girl, you're colored, you can't skate here. Because in the 30s, figure skating had really pretty locked doors.
Mabel Fairbanks would inspire countless skaters, including Ty Babylonia.
The man who gave the interview, by the way, Atoy Wilson, was the first black U.S. skating champion in the year 1966.
The white gatekeeping is something Tiffany Chin can relate to. After her historic win in 1985, when she became the first non-white skater to win a U.S. senior singles title, she recalled in an interview with They Call Us Bruce the following. I remember when I was growing up, she said, a little girl told me, you're really good, but you'll never be a champion. Figure skating champions have blonde hair and blue eyes, and you don't have either. This was years before Chin could even imagine she might someday own U.S. national gold. Well, Michelle Kwan, an Asian American figure skating legend who was born in California, lost to fellow American Tara Lipinski at the 1998 Olympics. Well, MSNBC would write the headline, American beats out Kwan. Although they would apologize, it spoke volumes. Newsweek ran the following article in February of '92. What's a good old boy to do if there's not only a Toyota in the driveway and a Sony in the bedroom and a Mitsubishi in the family room, but on the screen there, as the band plays the Star Spangled Banner, is the all-American girl of 1992, and her name is Yamaguchi. With Debbie Thomas, criticism surmounted as well, writing she all but quit on the ice and called her a poor sport, even saying she misbehaved. Then there's the problem of judging, which many black figure skaters know all too well, like Surya Bonelli. At the 1994 World Championships in Japan, Bonelli tied home favorite Yuka Sato. The judges made the final decision to break the tie and awarded the gold medal to Sato, wrote Didone. She received backlash from the media and audience for being a sore loser and showed poor sportsmanship. Bonelli's podium protest represented her breaking point with the system. She felt she had been unfairly judged, despite doing everything that they told her to do. Bonelli did not fit into the traditional image of a thin, often white ice princess stereotype that figure skating continues to uphold. Until very recently, leaders of the sport in the United States did not formally monitor the racial composition of competitors, judges, and other officials, wrote the Times. But after the Black Lives Matter movement took shape, U.S. figure skating started collecting such data and established a working group and then a task force to address diversity, equity, and inclusion.
There still remains a huge obstacle, which is cost.
Joel Savary, figure skating coach, author, and founder of Diversify Ice Foundation, a nonprofit aimed to diversify the sport of figure skating by cultivating skaters of color, well, he told the Times he estimates that some people spend more than $50,000 a year to try to reach the elite level, and the limited access to rinks deter many people, regardless of race, from pursuing it as a competitive sport. Savary and others say that the rigid culture of the sport has deterred black participation as much as the price tag. The narrow range of favored music, body types, costumes, and dance moves creates a sense of claustrophobia. The subjective elements of the scoring system, which includes points based on personal interpretation of music and emotional translation of choreography, create a delicate predicament for black figure skaters. Many say they feel compelled to conform to the traditional mold of stars in a sport that does not reflect or represent their identities and cultures.
Yet, maybe, just maybe, Starr is the breakthrough.
Just recently, two brilliant programs at Skate Canada in Ontario elevated Starr Andrews as the first U.S. black figure skater to win an ISU Grand Prix medal since the series began in 1995. It is historic, as Michelle Obama wrote above a Starr Andrews video. To all the black kids out there striving for excellence in the face of those who doubt you, keep going. Keep telling the story of your experience. We see you.